Welcome back to the channel, and in some good news I have a new computer, so finally able to set about making these videos look a little bit more professional than just the me commentating over the raw footage as you had before. Certainly makes commentating a little bit easier because I can do it in segments now rather than trying to do the whole lot in one take. And I'm most happy about being able to restore the colours too. I play in 4K 120, so being able to restore the washed out colours is a huge thing, I think, for the look of the videos. I can't really promise that the way I've done these videos will always be the way it's done. I think it's a natural evolving process, but I'm shooting for a more clean, simple style with the editing as opposed to sort of extravagance and flashy lights, so to speak. It's definitely my style. So, also, welcome back to Grand Valley. It's been a while, hasn't it? Grand Valley. Gosh, I want to say it's been maybe over a year since we've had this for Daily Race C. I know it's appeared for Daily Race B, and I do time trial Daily Race B fairly regularly, but I don't often race it. So, yeah, I feel like Bathurst vibes from this race in that it's another track I'm relearning for the level that I'm at now. Haven't really raced it since I got this tone of pace that I've found now. So with one major difference between this and Bathurst, I actually like this track more than Bathurst, so a little bit easier to learn. Definitely a bit of pace still to be found, but yep, getting to grips with it, getting to understand it. So, lap 1, no doubt you recognise the names here, you know who these guys are. DJ Olive in front of me is a driver that was one of a collection of drivers I guess I kind of held up as a realistic target for a long time. So we all have those drivers, people you think you can emulate, people you realistically think you can match on performance. So yeah, the novelty of being a fast, quote-unquote fast driver has not worn off on me yet, still thoroughly enjoying it. And in this race I actually felt like I had a little bit better pace than Olive. So please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm a faster driver than Olive. You know that's not my style by now. But in this race, there's definitely a little bit more pace, and that factors into what I do here, the decisions I make and how the race unfolds. So always the goal at the beginning of the lap, the beginning of the race, sorry, is to try and maintain pace with the front runners. So starting P6, obviously lots of aliens up the front. I do need the slipstream to stay with them. I think I can do it, but I do need the slipstream to stay with them. But as we head up here on the end of lap 1, Olive makes a little bit of a mistake heading into the first turn, and this kind of separates us from the lead group. So you can see he runs a little bit deep here. I tried to get on the inside, but in trying to show him room, like you can't just put the throttle down and push him into the wall there, you've got to show room. So yeah, it wasn't an opportunity to get past. That separates us a little bit from Lopez and P4, and it does kind of decide what's possible from the race, because if you lose that slipstream again, custom slip is on, you're not going to catch that back up. A little bit of a tap there from the driver behind. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to give it a stab. Rihoiki, maybe? If by any chance you happen to be watching this and you want to correct me on the terrible pronunciation of your name, please do so. For the moment, I'm going to go with Rihoiki. So yeah, Rihoiki's a driver, I don't know who he is, I've not spoken to him, but I seem to be racing him a lot lately, and really clean, really smart driver, really respectful, and not just that, he sees the bigger picture as well. So it's someone who I've learned to trust very, very quickly, even though I can't really place my finger on having spoken to him at any point. So as we head round here into lap 2, I'm looking at that gap between between Olive and Lopez, and trying to think if they're possible for us to close that up a little bit because we're losing that slipstream a bit. Jumping forwards to lap 3, you can see that if anything we've actually fallen back a little bit more. So rather than go for the move here, because Olive doesn't really have a slipstream to pull on, I try to work with him. So I give him one bump draft and then another bump draft here to try and help him catch up, but then I noticed that I am in pouncing range for going for a move, so maybe it is the right idea, but I hold back and try not to do it, except that Olive runs deep again. And we're in that same situation that I can't quite get past on that corner if you are clean and respectful and show him room. However, it does mean that I'm right up his exhaust pipes. So it doesn't take much to execute a move into this hairpin. You don't even have to brake late for it. You've got the overspeed with the custom slip. You're really close. So you just got to move out and brake at the same time. Olive doesn't fight it, so massive respect to you, Olive. Thank you for the clean race there. He doesn't fight it, and we get ourselves up into P5. Looking at the drivers ahead, again, I think I can stay with them. I feel fairly confident I can stay with them if I'm in the slipstream range, particularly with this custom slipstream, but there's no way I'm catching it. There's no way I'm catching them up. That's impossible. It's not going to happen. So you can see that we do put a little bit of breathing space between myself and Olive. Where I was very much on his exhaust pipes, we've pulled out a little bit of a gap there, and that's what I mean about the small pace advantage. It's not much, but it is there. I did feel like I was just being held up a little bit. Got myself into clean air, just trying to strategize a way to maximize what I can get from this race at the moment, because having been separated from the front group, it doesn't really look like I can do better than P5 at the moment. So I was thinking about my pit stop strategy, and I thought I'd prefer to go lap 5 to give me better softs at the end. That's my preferred lap to pit, because the softs wear very, very badly with this tyre wear. But you can see there that Olive pitted on lap 4, so he's going to undercut me now, and there's nothing I can do to avoid that. It's impossible to avoid that undercut. This is hard tyres versus soft tyres, and yeah, the soft tyres go off really fast, but for 1 or 2 laps they're definitely optimal, so he's definitely going to undercut. Okay, it's what it is. All that effort to make a move, and lost the position anyway. So jumping forwards to my pit entry, Royke chose to pit on the same lap as me, and I'm looking at the leaderboard while I'm in the pits. I'm waiting for Olive's name to suddenly appear on that left-hand side. Fortunately, and somewhat surprisingly to me, maybe he had a mistake there or something. He does, there's no way he wasn't going to undercut me unless he got a penalty or something. The undercut was always going to happen, but I'm much closer to him than I expected to be, sorry, I should say. Did expect to be a little bit further from him. So this is good, because it means getting back past him is realistic. I've now got 1 lap fresher tyres, but it's ×6 tyre wear, right? So my tyres are technically 6 laps fresher than his, and they do wear out very quickly. The tyre wear is very bad. So feeling fairly confident that we can go for a move on him again. Take a look at P8. Now, you probably recognise that name. That's Jose Serrano, otherwise affectionately known as Josetti, I believe. And behind him is Nino Consta. So the World Tour drivers that frequently start at the back of these races. And I know they're coming, right? The World Tour drivers are coming. So they're going to pass us 3. That's a fact. They're going to catch us. It's not a matter of when. Sorry, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I hit the wall there, and Royke gets a move on me. There's no point defending this. No point. If I defend this, Josetti is going to be on us like lightning. He's going to catch us up fast anyway. So there's nothing I can do about that. It's not ideal. I'm now going to be the first victim to the World Tour drivers. Or am I? So Royke gets a penalty, and this gives me the beginnings of a plan. So I know Olive doesn't have a slipstream. Royke's penalty, a little bit of a lack of momentum for going wide. I could try and go for a move, but again, if we fight this, look at that gap back to Josetti. He's closing fast anyway. If we fight it, he's going to close even faster. He's the faster driver. He's a world champion. You're not going to realistically hold him off. So what I tried to do there is bump draft Royke so that the 3 of us are as close together as possible when he serves that penalty, i.e. when he goes and serves the penalty, I will immediately pick up Olive's slipstream and obviously the position, and then that leaves Olive vulnerable to me. So the plan here is to try and get past Olive before the World Tour drivers get past me. I know I've got a little bit better pace than Olive, so hopefully he can hold them up for a little bit, and that might afford me the opportunity to stay in front of them. So heading round here towards the penalty line, if you look at the rear view mirror, the World Tour drivers are coming. Well, the World Tour drivers have already arrived, more like. We're nice and close though, the three of us are nice and close here, so Rohoiki serves his penalty, that puts me directly in Olive's slipstream. Josetti's not close enough to go for this move into the tunnel here on this lap. So just trying to make sure that I nail everything here perfectly. Olive doesn't have a slipstream, so he's going to be vulnerable on the straight. Basically, whichever one of us is in front has a better chance of surviving the World Tour drivers coming at us. Manuel Rodri there had a spin, feel bad for him, but we've all done it, so we took one more position with that. Olive goes defensive, which of course is exactly what he should do, it's the only thing he can do. I move out to go past him on the outside. I expected Josetti to bump draft Olive and then both of them go past me on the inside, but that didn't happen, and I managed to actually get in front before we hit the brakes. So got the move done, and we already know that I've got a little pace advantage over Olive, at least in this particular race. So now I'm just trying to hit my marks and hit my lines as usual, do everything perfectly, and I feel like if I drive my best, I feel like I can hold off Josetti and Consta for one lap, because that's what's left basically after this lap. They're not past Olive yet, and as you can see, we're putting a little bit of breathing space into Olive here. So I feel like if I do everything correctly and drive my best, I know how to defend. I feel like I can hold off Josetti and Consta if I do everything well. And we'll see what happens when next lap comes round. But watching the rear view mirror here, you can see that Josetti gets Olive lined up for a move, pulls out, gets the move done into the tunnel. There we go. And now I'm in Olive's position. So now I'm the lead car in the group with no slipstream. Custom slip is on. You close aggressively if you're within a certain range. Josetti's not close enough to make a move work into the first turn. Well, technically it's turn 2, isn't it? Yeah, he's not close enough to make a move into the turn 2 hairpin, but he is within the very powerful part of the custom slip range, so he closes massively. I take a defensive line anyway, just to let him know that I ain't going to defend it, but he's not close enough, so I move out to take the racing line. Now, I've talked to you guys, a theme of my videos, particularly of the race school videos, the racecraft school videos for the different rings, was about keeping your head together under pressure, or better yet, just take the pressure off of yourself. And I completely failed to do that. So I succumbed to the pressure here, I start overdriving and make mistakes. I went deep, I tried to correct it by getting on the throttle early, which you shouldn't do, got dirty tyres, I'm offline because of the dirty tyres, the car gets unbalanced because of the elevation changes. At this point I'm just trying not to accidentally take out a world champion. So recovered from that, Josetti gets past me, but I still feel like I can keep Consta behind. He sets himself up wide here, I think, to try and get on my outside, which gives him the inside for the next turn. I've done that move myself, so I saw it coming. Dirty tyres are just about cleaning up. However, he's got more momentum than me there due to my left-hand dirty tyres, and I owe Consta a little bit of an apology here because I moved to defend this. At the time, it felt fine. At the time, I thought, that's fine, he wasn't close enough for me to not take my normal line. When I watched the replay back afterwards, I did send Consta an apology on Discord because I did cut his nose off, and it's not really how I like to drive. So my apologies to him there. So it should have been P6, but P5, not complaining. It's always nice to have some wheel-to-wheel racing. So yeah, thank you for watching. Glad to see Grand Valley finally back. Glad to see the BOP in a much better state. They've done a great job with that. I'm not a huge fan of the way the cars handle with the increased weight and reduced power. I think they're a bit too forgiving, but a small price to pay for the better BOP definitely is in a much better state than it was, so hopefully that bodes well going forwards. So yeah, thank you for watching. Nice to be able to edit these videos a little bit properly. We'll develop that over time as I learn more and more. And we will have another video for you next week, and hopefully I'll be working on some tuition videos to help you guys out with some of the things that I do in coaching. So once again, thank you for watching. I will catch you guys again next time. Take care. Bye bye.